Episode 28 of making a survival game in Godot, and last time we made it so we can shoot this enemy bear. And then he goes to sleep because we don't have the rest of the animations. I've been thinking about what to do next, and the next thing obviously that I wanted to do was importing all the enemies. But I realized if I don't even have the world, I won't be able to use a navigation system, which I'm pretty sure that's something I want. So why just not make the world, and while I'm making the world I still have enough time to finish the animations for the enemies. So yeah, I think that's the next step that I'll be taking. And yes, I have seen the feedback on the UI. Most of you seem to like it. A couple of you said I should probably add like a bit of a transparent color or a lighter color to the background so it doesn't look like an actual frame. And I should also make the inventory bigger. And I will do that in another video where I will be adding some more UI. I've got a couple more ideas. But yeah, you guys seem to like it, or the approach that I'm taking, or the direction I'm taking. We're going to be fixing that in a different video, but for today I want to start getting some kind of a terrain in here. I've been doing some research and it seems like this terrain 3D plugin is really useful, so I'm actually not sure, so we're just going to try it. Alright, so it's actually quite easy to install. You just download the package from the website and put it into a add-ons folder. And then I also had to update to Godot 4.1.3. I was using 4.1.1 and it wouldn't do the GD extension thingy. So I just had to update, which was actually super simple, and it doesn't seem to have any errors or problems with the update. And yes, I am aware that 4.2 is out, but I didn't want to update it to that yet because I'm not sure how, if it's going to break anything. But yeah, everything seems to work for now. And we do have a terrain 3D node now, so I'm going to try and do something with that. Right, if I add it to the world, we can see that we now have a terrain that's way too big. But we do have a couple more tools available on the side here. And it seems like we can't paint color onto it, or we can paint color onto it. And we can, oh, this is real cool. Okay, so we can raise it, we can make little valleys, we can smooth it out, I'm pretty sure, or I think this just reduces. Yeah, it's called reduce. We have a flatten tool. Oh yeah, and we have a smooth tool. And it seems to have a collision shape already generated from it. Cool. But it does seem to have some sort of a LOD automatic system, which doesn't work too well, so we'll have to figure that out. Is this infinite? What the fuck? This is fucking huge. Okay, I'm not sure I like how big it is. Okay, I'm gonna delete it. And I'm gonna try to use a height map to, make it look good. And to do that, I'm gonna use Terra Sculptor 2.0 because 3.0 I need to pay for it and I don't want to. So I'm just gonna generate something and try and get it working. Okay, we've got a terrain. I'm pretty sure I can go noise map and then maybe Perlin, and I should get something out of it. Let's just go for something like this maybe. Okay. And can I export a height map from this? Right, I got a height map looking like this. I'm not sure if that's the correct way to do it, but we'll see. Right, so I've checked out the documentation, and if I want to use a height map, I should be using the importer here. It's a scene with the importer object with the importer script, which I should probably, just give it a height map and then run import. So we'll see. Now, I can see that there's a 1024 by 1024 texture, and this is 2000, so I might just create a new one. And then let's use a ridged one. Yeah, let's use this. I know it doesn't look really good, but let's try that. If I give it a height map and just run import, nothing happens. Oh, something did happen. Just not what I wanted. Maybe it's because I'm exporting as a PNG, and here it says it doesn't, like Godot doesn't support 16-bit, and this uses 16-bit, so I might need to use RAW or something. RAW 16-bit should be the one. I can clear terrain here, or clear all, which is quite cool. And then I have the R16. What if I run import now? Same thing, okay. Well, it did create that, but I don't see it in the view here. I did find quite an interesting thing. You can enable in the material world noise enabled, and then you get this really cool kind of out of bounds background backdrop terrain, I'm pretty sure, because this should be, oh okay, I can expand it. I'm not sure. Still figuring shit out. But I still don't get how the fuck am I supposed to use the thingy. Because it says here it's using that height map, but I can't see it being used. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong yet. Alright, after playing around with it for about another hour or two, I can't fucking figure out how to do the height map. I tried looking at tutorials. None of them show how to use the height map to terrain thingy. They all just say, oh, it works. Well, it doesn't. So I've been searching around for another one, and apparently in Godot 3, or 3.3 exactly, there's a really popular plugin called Height Map Terrain, and I found a version that allegedly supports Godot 4. So we're gonna try that, because on GitHub it says it's been updated 4 days ago. Alright, I've imported it, and let's see if I can add a H terrain. Nope, it's not here. Maybe I have to... Oh yeah, I have to enable it. Okay, and let's just, for now, reload the project. And now, H terrain. Fuck yeah, man. Okay, we've got a couple of things here. Some brush settings seems like it, and it says there's an error because I need terrain data. And I'm guessing I just have to give it a directory for that. So I'm just gonna put it in my kit terrain folder and just name one data, select it. And we've got a terrain. Okay, that was quite simple. And this one is not infinitely big, which is a good thing. I'll just scale it way down for now. And we've got some settings here, or some tools. And yeah, it does seem like I can paint the height, I can lower it, smooth it, level it or flatten, and then erode, which, oh wait, does that mean, wait. Does erode mean what I think it means? Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah. And we can paint grass, really? Oh, that's pretty interesting. You can cut holes? This is so cool. I thought this was like a really hard thing to do, but it seems like this plugin did it. You can cut holes. I mean, this is generally used for like caves and stuff, which I was planning on doing in a different way, but this is really cool. All right. Whoa, there's different shaders. What the fuck? There's a low poly one. Okay, we'll get to that. What I want to do is use a height map. Wait. There's a generate mesh. Whoa, what the fuck? You can generate it from Godot. Wait, let me apply that. No way. No fucking way. I mean, it's not useful. I'm just really surprised that there's a option to do it in here. Yeah? Wait, now if I go to rendering and low poly. Dude, this is amazing. This is amazing. I mean, just the fact that it has low poly is very And I can cut holes in it just like that and paint. Whoa, that's cool. That's really cool. I know it's a super simple thing to do, but I don't care. I don't care. Import maps. Height map. Yeah. Min height, max height, splat map. I don't have a splat map or a color map. I'm not even sure what that means, but if I import it, if I import my little map that I have, and this does have some LODs on it. My voice is cracking, my bad. Alright, this works about 20 times better than the previous plugin. Okay, and I can increase the detail on it by changing the chunk size, which is probably something that I'll need to do. That is so cool. Okay, and I do have a height map from it. I'm pretty sure this is what it generated. This is actually a lot of detail. Wow, it's actually really quick and easy. Can I paint by... No, I can't. Okay. But if I import here, I can use a color map to paint it for me. I might be able to make a paint map or a color map in Blender if I just use a plane with a displace, and for that I just use my height map, and then all I have to do is give it a subdivision surface and subdivide it a bunch of times, and then I would get the same terrain same terrain that I have in Godot. Let's actually subdivide once more just for a bit more detail. I forgot the name of the node. Oh, it's the geometry node, and then I should take the pointiness, and I should be able to color with this. My PC is very slow if you didn't notice. Okay, so now I can use this, for example, to get a base color of some green. Yeah. And then I'll add another one here, which would be kind of white maybe, or yeah, something like that for the peaks. Alright, not the prettiest thing I ever did, but now if I could just make this to a texture, which should be 1024 by 1024, I should be able to get that info into Godot. Okay, if I go to import maps and then also give it a color map and import it. Oh, it did something. That's really cool. Let me just paint everything white again. No? I kind of feel like it's a bit too, like the green that I had was overlaid with this. I mean, it definitely worked because I can see the white points. Alright, so it's the next day. Yesterday what I did was just a bunch of testing to see how well this would work. Basically what I want is a way of generating a terrain, which I have, but then I also want to be able to place where the roads are. And I want it to be non-destructive, because if at any point, knowing Godot, if something gets corrupted, I don't want to have to remake everything. So I wanted to use Blender, use a height map that I have, then do some sculpting in Blender on the terrain and export the height map again. The problem with that is I couldn't get constant results from it that were the same. Like the height wouldn't always match with the previous one, so on, so on. So what I decided to do is to use only Godot for sculpting, and we'll see how we go from there. As you can see, if I add a H terrain, and I have this data folder in my terrain, which is the terrain that I made before, and you can see it saves the color, it saves the height, it saves the normal. And if I just give any terrain, this is a completely new terrain, if I just give it that data directory, let it generate, you can see that I have my terrain. And for example, let's just go to this bottom left corner, and it's quite nice that you have a map here. And let's just paint some color. Let's give it a red color so we can see well. Get a bigger brush. And let's just paint some red in here, just to see what happens if I do this and then delete the terrain. So we're going to do this, and around the red we're also going to just smooth, because that's something I'll have to do on the terrain since it's not working too well. And also I'll be using the low poly shader because I think it just looks very well smoothed out. It's not very good if it's not smoothed out, but if I smooth it out, it looks kinda okay. Actually, it looks the way I want it to look. So let's just smooth some of it, like a part of the red. It's a bit slow because it has to regenerate the global map now, and now it's gonna lag, but once it's done that, it's actually quite fast. You can see that from far away even, the smoothed out part looks really well. And when you come close, it also looks pretty good. Now, if I save this, well, I don't have to save the scene. I can just delete the H terrain, and let's just add a new one. And again, I'll just set it to centered here, set the rendering to low poly, and then I'll just give it that data directory again. You can see that it saved all the changes, even the smoothing part of it. So this does give me a way of, if anything happens, just give it this data directory and it's going to generate the terrain, which is a good thing. The only problem I have with this, the terrain is not split into chunks, which is obviously not good because if I'm in this part of the terrain, or if the player is in this part of the terrain, I obviously want to be able to turn off the further away parts of the terrain, which is because, you can't even see them at that point, so I might as well turn them off. What this does have though is it uses a clip mask, I'm pretty sure this is called, so the terrain nearest to the player has more detail and the terrain farther away has less detail, which is pretty cool. And it's all done on the GPU as well, so that's great. But still, I would want some kind of a way of disabling that terrain. Now what I will probably do is, once I add the trees and the grass and all the foliage, I'll probably have those split into chunks, and then I can turn off those, but the terrain will stay, which is not too bad, but it's not too good as well. But yeah, the performance seems fine for now. What I have to do is just test it out, because I still haven't tested out how the player will move on this. So let's actually save this scene as a scene math. Okay, the scene now loads. Oh yeah, this will definitely have to be smoothed. But the performance is actually quite okay using the clip mask. Oh yeah, that looks a lot better now once it's smoothed out. And there's no jagged edges at all. The terrain in the distance looks pretty good. I mean, you can see some popping there. Wait, if you look in the distance, you can see the clip mask doing its thing, as you can see, which I'm fine with that. But yeah, this should work fine for the game. What I want to do now, for kind of the last part of this video of getting the terrain in, I want to paint something in. Now, I wish I didn't have to do this using the color picker here, but I can use a splat map or a color map, and I'm going to try generating those from something. Okay, so I went into the Terra Sculptor and I made a new one, which I like a bit more because the player can start here and then kind of have a linear path that makes more sense in your head for some reason. Because I don't know, just in games always you go from bottom to up, and this kind of has a bit of a curve that you can explore, and then here it will be kind of the end game. And I still have place here to maybe add like a mine or a cave or something like that, and this would generally be a pretty good place to start, I think. Now also another thing I saw when doing this is that I have to delete these two as well, that importing them as images instead of textures is a way better thing to do. If you don't do this, it will not export the terrain data properly, and once you try to rebuild it into a new terrain, it will not work. So import them as images. You can see that now we have a colored terrain, and let's just let it generate this map. This takes usually half an hour because I've read somewhere that even though in-game the terrain is rendered through the GPU, in the editor it's still the CPU. Apparently they're waiting for some changes in the core engine that will allow you to do that, but for now it doesn't allow you to do that. Okay, I did go and change some of the things, made the peaks a bit higher and the valleys a bit lower, but now we finally have our terrain with a color map, and the colors did not transition well, but I'm fine with that. I just wanted something to look at. So yeah, this will be the map. And it does work. I already tested it out, but let me show you. If I just get another H terrain, set it to centered, low poly, and then give it the data that we have. And in a few seconds, we have our map again. And you can see that it's our map because I did draw this little piece of shit here to see if it's working correctly. And I did smooth out just the center of the map, just so I can test it out, which we'll do right now. Not gonna lie, I kinda like the low poly effect that the faraway mountains have. It goes with the style, really, and once I had the trees and everything, I think it'll look even better. But yeah, this is pretty much the terrain that we got now. Next time, I hope we'll be adding some trees, because that'll be amazing. And the character works well on slopes. Yeah, I really like it. The map is not too big. That's because I'm working on this alone, and I definitely don't want to be making the whole fucking map by myself. So I went with something a bit smaller, but more packed. I think that's a good approach to take as a solo developer. Hopefully you guys like the map, and if you don't, well, fuck you. It's my map. I am still thinking about adding textures to this, because this might just be a bit too more boring. We'll see though. It's fine, we have time. No, we don't. But yeah, finally, after such a long time, we've got some kind of a world going on. And next time, it will hopefully look even better than this. Until the next update, I guess. Bye now.